So let me share some feedback. When we started our interview, let me tell you, I asked you some questions where your focus was more on only and only life related things. Now, let me give you one example. When I asked you, what's your career plan? You said that my parents are in Meerut and I need to shift to Delhi NCR. That cannot be your uh, career objective. Getting my point? So it is very important to keep it in mind when we person is asking you about career objective. Person is not asking you about your life related plan now. One. Second, very important thing, you're an experienced person. The best quality you have is your stability. Okay, when I went through your resume, I got to know that. However, when I asked you the questions about KRA and KPIs, you could not differentiate those. When I asked you KRAs, you were telling me a lot of things. However, your KRAs can be defined only in three areas: talent acquisition, vendor management, and some other responsibilities. See, KPIs are always in a numerical form. That means how does your performance get evaluated? That is very important when you talk about KPIs in the interview. If any fresher says that, then it's a different thing altogether. But your experience, you're working on assistant manager level, your vocabulary and the number game has to be little different. Okay. So that is my another question. Then I asked you about, what is it that you have made the changes in your current role? I asked you that, right? You said, I started hiring people through LinkedIn, right? Again, I will say very, very sharp answers it should come that, how much percentage of hiring has happened, how much budget you have every month for LinkedIn post, how do you engage with people. So, as an experienced person, I want more numbers. In fact, you were speaking more about your family so much and salary so much that I had to ask you more direct questions. Like, what is the dashboard you look at it when you evaluate your team's performance, right? And I did not get the right headers there. When it says a dashboard, when you have three people reporting to you, you have numbers. Then I said, how do you drive your talent acquisition team's numbers? You had nothing minimum in your, when you were speaking. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. So my suggestion to you will be these. See, you are on assistant manager level. You are asking for 50 plus salary. Now the journey from here it is going to be very different. Add more and more numbers when you are speaking. It can be as simple as that I have three KRAs. One, two, three. My KPIs are I'm supposed to hire 30 people in a month on my own, 20 people from my team, 10 people like this. Vendors, I have to onboard them so much. Payroll, this much percentage of mistakes and errors should not be there. So this is how you speak. Getting my point? So I was missing because I personally work in the area of talent acquisition. It requires a complete mindset of a salesperson when you work in talent acquisition because it's like funnel management, it is like arranging interviews, getting them, closing it, offer release. That little aggression is required when you work in the talent acquisition team, which I could not see, right? And basic English also you need to look at because I observed you were saying quite frequently people's, right? Where the wording should be people. Then another thing which I observed that when you were saying there is 17 something, but the answer, the answer should be there are 17 people, there are 17 vendors, but is and are peoples, right? This is something which is making a huge impact because now you are going on senior level. Then we also asked you how can you help us to drive our talent acquisition, right or wrong? And that is where I did not get any constructive action, right? Like, for example, you can also ask me questions. Are you a startup? What's your vision as far as talent acquisition is concerned? What are your current strategies? You know, because in interviews, many times we think that it is all about, you know, interviewer asking you the questions. No, at your level, you are a very experienced person. You can also ask questions because without that, you won't be able to give me the answer. Am I right or not? So ask questions to the interviewer also, and then say, okay, if that is your vision, these are your current strategies. You know, my strength lies in talent acquisition, and I can work around these two, three areas. Getting my point? Ultimately, person wants you to hire, and they are looking from a work perspective than your life perspective. However, throughout mostly 60% of the interview, you spoke about your life and less about work. When I asked you question, that is the time you started speaking about the work. Is it okay? I hope this feedback helps you, Vinitna, because
Yes, ma'am, I'll work on it.
your resume is very nice. Stability is there. You know, you are working on a senior level, you're managing the team. But sometimes what happens, you are really great at it, but you are not able to exhibit it, right?
Yes,
And this
ma'am.
is where your exhibition through right vocabulary is very important.
Yes, ma'am.